So my name is Patterson, and this is my expertise project for Dr. Cobia's class. My expertise project was actually on how to secure school funding through a property tax referendum. The date, June 25th, 2023, Stanford University doctoral students. So the purpose or the abstract behind this, I did a purpose slash abstract and a rationale. The purpose is to gather information on how to secure money for a school system through property taxes. And the Pell City Kids Count referendum was my go-to that I use in order to help me figure out this information. The rationale behind this, like why is this research project important? It's important because with school funds, a school system can do so many things. If you don't have the money, you can't do a lot. So in my opinion, being able to secure money through property taxes was a huge accomplishment. And if I'm blessed to be in a leadership position and role such as a superintendent one day, it's something that I would definitely want to look into trying to do. So first, you're going to have to kind of look at the demographics of where you are. This goes with knowing your audience. Passing a property tax referendum in a place like Pell City may be much harder because it's more rural, maybe much harder than maybe a Mountain Brook or a Trustville. You have to look at your demographics. So Pell City is located in Alabama. Okay, around 2020 had a population of 14,000, but it's growing. But Pell City is very, very small. The average household income in Pell City is around $70,000 with a poverty rate of around 14%. All of this is valuable information when trying to get a property tax referendum together. The median rental cost is around $858 per month. Average house value is around 183,000. And you want to look at the demographics of race as well, because that can play a part. White slash Caucasian population is around 86%. Black or African American population is around 10%. Asian around 2%. Two or more races is going to be 1%. Other races is going to be around 0.15. Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander is going to be around 0.8%. And then Native American is going to be around 0%. So you want to look at schools. You want to look at the school system as a whole, but you also want to look at individual schools. So I decided to look at the seventh grade school that I was at last year, and the average number of students, or the approximate number of students, is around 297 students. Female 146, male 151. Socioeconomic status plays a part. You want to see how many people are on paid and reduced lunch at these schools, because that's going to affect all this criteria. All this criteria is going to affect whether or not people are going to want to pay more money on their property taxes. So as you can see, you have paid around 48%, free lunch around 42%. So it's about half and half. And then you have reduced at 10%. Then you want to look at special populations. EL learners is about 2%, special education 8%, 504 2%, gifted 7%. And then again, you want to look at race. White Caucasian is around, as far as student demographics, is around 81%. Black slash African American is going to be around 13%. Hispanic is going to be around 4%. And Asian is going to be less than 1.1%. And other is going to be almost non existent. So, along with student demographics, you also want to look at teacher demographics, because if you have a lot of teachers that live in the area and they're able to vote, this will also help you determine whether or not attempting to pass a property tax referendum is a good or a bad idea. So, looking at race, Black slash African American population of teachers is around 30%. White or Caucasian population of teachers is around 70%. Female around 65%. Male around 35%. And then the level of degree is going to tell you about how much money your teachers are making. So the number with an associate's degree is around 9%, bachelor's around 30%, master's is around 48%, and doctorate is going to be around 13%. And this encompasses the entire staff. So I want to introduce Dr. Leah Stover. This is who I interviewed for my information, and she had a wealth of knowledge. She is the assistant superintendent of the Pell City School System. She has over 31 years experience in education. She was appointed assistant superintendent in December 2019, so she's been there about 4 years. So she's had some staying power in this position. Her primary responsibilities include human resource related concerns, and she spearheaded the Pell City Schools Kids Count referendum campaign. So, step one, in order to get a campaign like this jumped off and started, you do want to look into hiring a public relations expert. Why should you hire a PR expert? A public relations expert is going to know things that you don't know and is going to do things that you cannot do. They're going to have contacts of people who can do professional videos. They're going to know how to get things out to the public strategically, and they're going to give out the necessary information that can sway the public into the direction of voting yes for a referendum. What can a public relations expert bring to the table? Professional contacts. They're going to know who to talk to do professional videos, who to talk to take pictures, who to talk to build websites. Social media. A PR expert can set up your social media. They can have a whole Facebook, Instagram, and whatever needs to be had devoted to the cause at hand. Website. A PR expert can help you get a website set up and get your message across. And expenses. Although a PR expert can be expensive, you can collect private funding to pay. According to Alabama Code, you cannot use school funding to pay for a PR expert to come in and do something like this, but you can collect private funds. You can go to local businesses and ask for money. And then once you get that, it can be a bit of a gamble, but if it is successful, then it is worth the gamble. So I want to attach my interview with Dr. Stover here so that everyone will have access to it. I'm not going to play it, but if you get some time in your spare time, if this is a project you want to do, she shared a wealth of knowledge. So I think that this is something that you may want to look at. So, step three, you want to identify and explain projects that you hope to accomplish with the funding. So, when you're asking people to pay more money for something, then you cannot be vague about where that money is going to go. Your audience or your public wants to know that these funds are going to go back directly to their children in some type of way. So, some ways you can use the money, you can do building projects all around the school system. Everybody likes to see new shiny buildings go up. You can add a wing onto a school. You can build a new cafeteria. You can do renovations. You can complete tasks that just all around make the school system better. A superintendent can also use funds to purchase computer adaptive programs that you may not otherwise have had the money to purchase. You can purchase these programs in the areas of reading, science, and math that's going to help increase ACAP scores. And the higher the Alabama Comprehensive Assessment Program scores, we know that that can increase funding as well, and that gets people wanting to come to your school system. You can use the funding in the athletics department. You can add turf to the fields. If you have enough money, you could even build a new stadium. People love things like that. Also, you could set up ACT programs to help students in high school increase their score on the ACT, because this will bring more scholarships into the school system, and that is a positive attribute to the community as well. Okay, step four. After funding is secured, enlist the help of a bonding agency. So you do want to have a good relationship with city council, because at times the city can get a better rate on bonding than the school system, and this can help out the schools. Some schools systems have not even bonded before, but the city probably has. So that's a good relationship to have. Think about timing. What are interest rates looking like at this time? And that goes also to whether or not you want to do a property tax. Because right now with inflation, this will be a horrible time to try to pass a property tax. But when people feel a little bit better about where things are, they have a little bit more money in their pocket, they may be more prone to vote yes on something like this. And then which bonding agency? You want to choose a bonding agency that works closely with other school systems, preferably those that are close to you, where you can call up the superintendent and say, hey, did you use such and such bonding agency? If so, how did you go about it? What rates did you get? And what suggestions do you have? All right, so looking at step five. You want to look at all suggestions. You want to be sure to get the referendum approved by the Board of Education, of course. You want to hire a professional relations expert and collect private funding to pay the person. You want to create a website and social media detailing projects that the money will be used for. People need to know where the money is going. You want to go to schools. You want your staff to know. You want to bring diagrams, charts. You want to make sure that you are, once again, not vague about what is going to happen with the money. You want to have town hall meetings. Do the same thing. You want to have community meetings to discuss the needs for the community. Why do we need this money? And you want to explain that. After the money is secured, you want to seek the help of a bonding agency that preferably works with other school systems. Okay. Step 6, make the decision on which solutions to approve. What are you going to do? Are we going to build a new cafeteria? Are we going to do a new band hall? Are we going to do new schooling? What's going to be a definite yes and what's going to be a no? So I wanted to add some links to some important information. So let's see. There was a website that was used in order to help get the word out to the community about this project. And on the website, it's actually still up and available. There's a wealth of knowledge about the Pell City School Kids Count referendum. First thing you see, when to vote. Tuesday, November 16th. I remember that day. They highlighted that over and over because people will forget. Then we have professional videos of parents, students, board members. I've even seen the mayor in a video telling people why this is important, that this money is had by the school system. Then you have some Q&A. What's the Pell City Kids Count? Like, what is this? Okay. Um, Discussing what it is a plan to help renovation and maintenance. If you live outside the city of limits of Pell City, can you vote? Why does the referendum need to be passed? Why? What's the point of this? Why do we need this? Who's going to benefit? Your children. And this, to me, was very attractive. They did a calculator, and you could put in your home value and what exactly you should be paying with the increase in property taxes. So I think that helped a lot as well. Then there was a comparison to other school systems, what they pay in property taxes versus what we pay, and why they have some things we don't have. They looked at Leeds, Trustville, Shelby County, Calhoun County, Jefferson County, and Talladega County. And of course, how will the money be spent? There was very direct information on how the money will be spent. Elementary schools, storm shelters. And Dr. Stover talked about that on her video. Art and music instruction, gym floors. And art is definitely something that I've seen increase in all schools. Intermediate and junior high schools, gym floor. Build a whole multi-purpose facility. Pell City High School, new cafeteria, band hall, library and media center, new flooring, athletic facilities, artificial turf at the football and soccer fields, walking track around the football field, or resurface it, upgrade the restrooms. And I can attest that the restrooms do need to be upgraded in that facility. Baseball/softball facility, renovate and upgrade the playing surfaces, add replace fencing, expand restrooms. And then there were pictures, okay, about what's to come, what the new additions are going to look like on the high school, what the band room addition is going to look like, and then what we have and how much space is not there. So to me, that was a very large piece of why the campaign was successful. There was also a Facebook page. And on the Facebook page, of course, once again, very professional videos. There's the mayor. He's telling why to vote yes. There's one of the board members. She's telling why to vote yes. They even encompass some students and teachers and educators of, why we need this money. And I mean, some comments can be negative, but you have to take that chance and you want to listen to all sides. So, and this was updated frequently during the process. So that's something that was very influential. There was even news coverage about the referendum.
I have always had a dream to be a special education teacher, but finances were a struggle. Being Residents in Pell City attended a public forum on a proposed ad valorem tax. The increase is expected to bring in $1.7 million for the Pell City school system if it passes. CBS 42's Jake Chapman has this story. Pell City school leaders say the time is now to truly invest in the school district. It should have happened before now. It shouldn't have taken 30 years, and I hope it won't be 30 years again.
Because our kids deserve the fact of having an education in a 21st century competitive educational environment. And some parents agree.
With better education, it's better possibilities for people to get better jobs, better economic abilities for companies to relocate here. The only argument with this is we're not asking for enough.
Superintendent Dr. James Martin explains how exactly the tax increase will work.
The 5 mil property tax increase will roughly bring us about $1.5 to $1.7 million a year.
And he says the money will solely stay within the school district and fund future projects.
And as it grows, we're going to continue to try to do things to meet the demands of our students throughout those 30 years.
But during Monday's meeting, people still had questions.
How much is going to this? How much is going to that?
And concerns about the numbers.
I think you misrepresented this.
But at the end of the day, Monday's meeting was able to change some minds.
You beat me down, although you.
And school leaders hope it passes on Tuesday in order to make that investment.
We just want to be able to compete with the schools around us.
And if you're a Pell City resident and want to know how this exactly impacts you, the school system has put a property tax calculator on their website. We have a link to that inside CBS42.com. We're in Pell City. Jake Chapman, CBS 42 News. Local coverage you can count on.
And there was more than one news story out like that. So, very good information all around. So last but not least, once you get everything secured and you've got the funds, you do want to develop a progress tracker. Where should the tracker go? The progress tracker should go on the school's official website as well as any social media pages associated with the school or the school systems associated with the school system. So any social media associated with the school system as well as any website associated with the school system. What does the progress tracker do? The progress tracker informs the community on where the school system is on certain projects, and it also serves as documentation for the school system. So nobody can say, well, you said that you were going to, build a new cafeteria in the high school and we haven't seen anything. Well, check the progress tracker. We're working on it. Okay. And it just updates the community as a whole. So and this was on the video a while ago, this is an example, and your progress tracker may look different, but this was an example of the progress tracker for the Pell City school system. You see the storm shelters at Eden and Coosa Valley underway, full-time art and music elementary schools, and they also have art and music at the secondary level as well, so that's completed. Baseball and softball complex turf and drainage renovations are completed. So the band hall and cafeteria, the bid is going out on that. So it's almost underway. Football stadium renovations are underway. And then some more things are in the planning process. And these are my references.